Esteemed colleagues, it's a great pleasure and a great honor to join you for the opening of this today's seminar on the futures of education, organized in the lead up to the UN Transforming Education Summit this September in New York. And I warmly commend you for taking this time of reflection and in the midst of a daily pressure faced by every education system still, starting with the COVID-19 recovery. I mean, it's a sign of the Sultanate of Oman's vision of education as the cornerstone for a sustainable, better future. This is reflected in the Oman Vision 2040, and the COVID-19 crisis has been a clarion call for transformation. Our societies are increasingly interdependent, interconnected. The digital revolution is, of course, accelerating, affecting every aspect and dimension of our life. How we live, how we learn, how we work and live together. Climate change and biodiversity loss are imperiling our planet. Inequalities are widening, further dividing our societies. It's against this backdrop, this challenging backdrop, that we must reflect on what kind of education we want and need to shape the world of tomorrow. One that is more sustainable, one that is more inclusive, resilient and just. This is actually the ambition of reimagining our futures together with the S of plural, a new social contract for education. And the report, let me say frankly, released last November by the International Commission on the Futures of Education, is very much not a blueprint, but it's an inspiring living document. My colleague Sobi Tawil will be providing you with a full picture of the content and recommendations included in this report. Allow me just to say a few words about the status, the nature of this report. It's really an invitation to critically look at today's education systems and to how to examine paths of transformation. Fundamentally, this is about acquiring the values, this is about transmitting the knowledge and skills to rebalance our fundamental relationships. Relationships with each other, relationships with technology and with the planet, of course. Through new pedagogies, new model of teaching, new curricula, and a different organization of learning, we show how it's possible to encourage what we need in this century, what we need in these troubled times. It's about empathy, it's about cooperation and collaboration, it's about a new form of solidarity, and most importantly, it's about an ethic of care. I think that the language you can take from this report, at least my understanding, is learning to care. As such, the report provides also a lens for looking at education in your own country and considering what should be strengthened, what needs to be abandoned, and most importantly, what should transform and how. This is how a new social contract for education can be forged, grounded in human rights, social justice, and of course, non-discrimination. This seminar is quite timely, in my opinion. I welcome that it brings on board a wide spectrum of education stakeholders, starting with youth, of course. Next week in Paris, UNESCO will host a pre-summit to generate momentum, to mobilize young people, governments, and all partners, and most importantly, to learn from the national consultations, because they will provide a tangible vision of how countries see the future of education as a public endeavor and a common good. Once again, I wish you an excellent seminar and commend all of you for this initiative.